Hello, Nari McDiarmid for miningnews.net, and I'd like to welcome Carl Popal, Executive Chairman of Eclipse Metals. And Carl, behind you I can see a poster with some northern lights from Greenland and an image from one of your projects in Australia. But for anyone new to Eclipse, how do you describe the company?
Eclipse Metals is an Australian exploration, mining and development company listed on the Australian Exchange under the code of EPM and also on the Frankfurt Exchange under the code of 9EU. Overall, the company has an impressive portfolio of strategic minerals in southwest Greenland, Northern Territory, as you can see from the image there, and Queensland for multi-commodity mineralisation. The company's projects are prospective for resources required for the expanding green economy in renewable energy future. Overall, projects are at different stages of development, targeting a range of mineralisation. We're well positioned to advance despite commodity price cycle. The assets are progressive for commodities such as rare earths, high purity quartz, copper, manganese, gold, palladium, cryolite, uranium, vanadium, and base metals, amongst all. EPM is for us, primary focus is to unlock the potential of the rare earth from our flagship project in Greenland. It's a polymetallic environment in southwest Greenland. We're excited about our recent maiden rare earth JORC resource showing amazing magnetic rare earths from surface of the project starting from 0 meters. Overall, EPM is transitioning from an explorer towards a rare earth polymetallic multi-commodity miner, and we hope to grow from here onwards.
Carl, you mentioned the initial resource for part of your Greenland project announced recently. What are some of the features? You mentioned the zero from surface mineralisation. What are some of the other highlights there?
Yeah, sure. Look, Greenland itself, the project itself, where it's located, is in southwest Greenland, which is the warmest part of Greenland. Ivigtût itself has got over 120 years of mining history, producing a rare mineral called cryolite. Greenland itself hosts a quarter of the world's rare earth minerals. Comparatively, Greenland itself is very low sovereign risk for European territory. It's a favourable mining jurisdiction, mining regulation, should I say, and tax structure. Ivigtût itself has the potential to be a large, highly profitable, critical and industrial mineral operation, having infrastructure on site, power facility, also the potential of hydropower, and the wharf facility is already there. Its near-term production potentials are quite high at Ivigtût. The pit environment is a polymetallic environment known to contain zinc, gallium, copper, lead, and rare earths. But at Granadale, which is about 5.5 kilometres away from the actual pit environment, as mentioned, recently announced maiden JORC resource from 0 meters from surface. It's about 1.18 million tonnes. Within the first 9.5 meters, very shallow drill holes. Within that, there's over 2,200 tonnes of neodymium. So very highly magnetic. This can be compared with other global deposits around the world. The ratio of the magnetic rare earth are superior to other known carbonatite deposits around the world. We're looking forward to progressing on that rapidly, with plan to define up to 1 billion tonnes at an average of 6,000 to 7,000 ppm total rare earths. The rare earth project has got the potential to be at the forefront as a leading supplier of rare earth oxide, silica quartz, and critical raw material that are the backbone of electrification transition in the burgeoning green economy and renewable energy future. So overall, there's a lot of pluses for the actual project, and that we're quite excited to work on that in due course and to delineate more and more positive results.
What's your focus? What would you like to achieve in 2024, Carl?
Throughout the 2024, we would like to assess the extractability of the rare earth elements from the deposit to see how amenable it is to beneficiating the rare earth as a concentrate. The social environmental impact assessments are in the progress. The project feasibility study is in the pipeline throughout 2024. We continue to progress with the application for mining license, and also deep drilling, diamond drilling, to understand the structural controls of the rare earths below the surface. Within the pit environment, which is a separate area of prospect, further study of the actual drill core historically was drilled. There's about 19,000 meters of drill core. Overall, build a project towards for offtake agreements to further fund the developments, and build a downstream partnership for long-term sustainability supply chain. The trends associated with the rare earths distribution in Granadale are quite complex, indicating that enrichment is a depth. So we would like to see the potential of that. Overall, it's given us indication that it could be an amazing project. Success comes before work in a dictionary. We've got a lot of work, and reality is work first. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, adding to the commerciality of the project. So yeah, a lot in the pipeline.
Certainly sounds like it, Carl. So, in terms of who's driving this forwards, what would you like people to understand about Eclipse Metals' leadership and management team?
Yeah, sure. Eclipse boasts a board with experience, talent, and integrity. The board's interests are well aligned with those of us fellow shareholders. Board members are shareholders with multiple projects at different stages of exploration, targeting a variety of different a range of minerals, should I say. Eclipse is well positioned from Perth in the Western Australia, which is a mining hub. We've got access to some of the best geotechnical talents as a consultant collaborating with the company. We also have collaboration in place with European and US universities, School of Earth Science, excelling in rare earths. Exploration of the company's tenement is primary focus for our highly regarded team members. And Eclipse is well alert to opportunities that complement the existing portfolio. We are looking forward to scoring goals as we move forward throughout the next couple of years.
And finally, Carl, for anyone considering investing, what would you say to them?
Investors should really consider the company as a long-term, solid opportunity. Rare earth resource represents a small fraction of the large carbonatite intrusive that we've been working on, that's been drill tested. Eclipse portfolio, also we've got the uranium assets, which we're in the process of spinning that out into a separate IPO. And we got a great pot of manganese in Queensland. We delineated a new mineral, manganese mineral, from that called an amomorite. And also the Ivigtût project, which is our flagship project, held the title of the world's largest and only craolite mine. And we hope to rejuvenate that name, and in particular also in Granadale, to uphold its name to be the largest rare earth carbonatite deposit. It's got the potential. There's obviously a news flow towards mining license in the pipeline. The bulk samples in laboratory, we're trying to make that actual concentrate, a saleable concentrate, ready for offtake agreements to further fund actual developments. Our mission is to increase shareholders' wealth through capital growth and ultimately dividends, and by developing the viable mineral deposits that generate mining or joint venture revenues. Overall, be sure to have Eclipse on, to have your telescope ready, and have EPM on the watch list. And Eclipse happens once every so often, and be sure not to miss out. That's all I can say.
Well, Carl, it's great to speak with you today. Thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure.